Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rahadash, up this morning, or should I say this afternoon working. I put on 5 pounds from binge eating the last week. Cake, burgers, and just all type of potato chips, slop food and shit. And I feel like shit, okay? So, your diet definitely determines your performance output when you're working out. So I feel sluggish. If I do 5 minutes on the bag, it feels like 15 minutes. If I do any 5-minute drills sectioned off in 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, I feel like shit while performing them. I gained 5 pounds. I went from 180 to 185, and I'm looking at myself in the video, and I can see my waist expanding. So the V-shaped taper starts to slowly disappear as you put on weight. Thank God it's December, so those dietary mistakes that I made that caused me to gain that 5 pounds, I'm going after those calories to try to pull that 5 pounds back off. But what I've learned is every time I binge eat, the guilt doesn't necessarily come from the 5 to 7 pounds of excess weight gain. It comes from the way it mentally disrupts and physically disrupts my circadian rhythm. So, like right now, I just don't feel great. Why? Well, if you eat cake every day and burgers every day and fucking potato chips every day and soda, you're not gonna feel great. So today, I decided that enough binge eating is pretty much out of my system for now. Anyway, so I'm back to my pasta, my spinach, my salmon, my blueberries, my Greek yogurt, and my brand fibrous cereals. Okay. And like I said, I would usually be able to glide through 10 minutes on the heavy bag without really getting fatigued or feeling sluggish. Today, I get up 4 or 5 minutes on a bag drill. Doesn't matter what bag it is, any bag that I punch back there, and I get to 4 or 5 minutes. And when I look at my time, I say, man, that's only been 4 or 5 minutes. So I'm realizing that the bad eating habits that I have sustained for the past 14 days, inconsistencies in my diet. So I've had the healthy food in there, but I've inconsistently stuck to it because I deviate and will eat junk. Like the last couple days, I pretty much consumed a whole Walmart birthday cake by myself, with the exception of probably 1,000 calories. That cake is 6,600 calories. So I ate what? 5,600 calories? 5,600? 5,600 calories in 2 days of pure cake. And trust me when I tell you, I could tell because my body is just, I don't feel horrible, but I don't feel great. I don't feel super energetic. I feel super sluggish. I'm starting to sweat prematurely. Usually, I get through whole workouts, no sweat. Literally, no pun intended. I really don't sweat that much. But when my diet is disastrous and I'm eating unhealthy food, I notice that I sweat a lot faster, a lot easier, and a lot quicker than it would be. It's not that I don't sweat. It's for me to sweat, I have to push myself literally kind of past what's comfortable for me to break a sweat. So now, like right now, all of the bad food that I ate, all those sugars, refined sugars and fat from the icing and all the ingredients that goes into cake, I'm feeling the effects of it now. But never know mine. We will try to work it out. What I notice helps is spinning. So you'll get on the spin bike, as I'm doing now, you'll feel somewhat sluggish for the first 10 minutes. After the 10 minutes, the endorphins will release into the bloodstream, the dopamine and the adrenaline, and you'll start to feel a little bit better. They call that the runner's high. But you usually have to get through maybe 10 minutes to 15 minutes of the initial spin to get to that level. So I don't know. Today I'm just chilling. I'm doing what I can. Remember, it's about consistency. So even though that I know I don't feel too good today, I'm going to do what I can do. You know, I'm going to try to do 30 minutes on the bike. I've done 22 minutes of training over there, 4 times 4. So we'll say 4 minutes times 4. Well, that's 16. Well, you're right. You know I can't fucking count. That's 16 minutes. So I've only done 16 minutes of training, boxing wise. I gotta get my cardio up another 15 minutes to even consider having a day completed with cardio. I have to do 30 minutes of cardio a day to stay consistent with my cardio. It doesn't have to be in one session. It could be split up throughout the day. So whatever I do on this bike, plus over there, Lord willing, I'm shooting for 30 minutes. I'm not going for anything crazy. So that's what it is. Yeah, man. My goal is not to be huge and muscular. My goal is to age. Lord willing, He allows me to continue to live and continue to shrink my waist. I want to keep shrinking my waist. I want to lift weights. I lifted weights today too. I lift every other day. So I put up some leg videos the other day, and I went through that same exact leg workout today. The funny thing about it is, during my weightlifting session earlier this morning, I started around 9:30 lifting. I felt great during my strength training with weights, but then when I finished the weight training and went to the heavy bag, I went for 4.5 minutes. I kind of was punching the bag pretty hard, and I noticed, I'm thinking to myself, that's about 7 minutes. Look, it was only like 4 minutes and 58 seconds. I said, dang, that wasn't even 5 minutes. I'm so consistent with my exercise routine, I already knew what that meant. That meant that the unhealthy eating that I overindulged in for the past 14 days is finally starting to take a toll on my performance output when I'm working out. So let's reverse that. We're going to do some cardio, try to alleviate some of the bad food out of my system, try to burn some of those calories off. Like I said, I gained 5 pounds, which to me that's outrageous at this point at my fitness level. 5 pounds is way too much. I hate gaining weight. You know, at 50 years old, I want to be slim thug. You know what I'm saying? I want to be a slim guy. Not a big muscular dude. None of that. Nice and slim. Right? You like the new angle? See the Milwaukee Tool hacksaw? When you hack into the system of Harry Soar, Master Lock, or Warlock. You hacked into, you picked a warlock. A lock that's put on the mind of the Negro. Because it's psychological warfare. I picked that lock. I have a warlock master key. Because the warlock is the master lock. Shout out to Harry Soar, the founder and inventor of the master lock at 2600. What street is that? 2600? I forgot. 32nd Street? I don't know. Whatever. Starting to ramble. But yeah, man. Like I said, I'm feeling okay. I'm noticing I'm starting to spin. I'm kind of going up and down. You'll feel like I'm starting to develop some energy. I'm becoming energetic. And then as soon as my thought says, oh, you're okay, and it starts to go back down. So, what's the moral of the story? What you eat, guaranteed 100%, determines how you feel, how much energy you have, how much psychological and spiritual muscle, if I, for a lack of a word that I can come up with. I'm dumb, I didn't graduate. So psychological strength and spiritual strength also comes from food, like physical strength does. So psychological and spiritual strength also comes from your diet. And like I said, I've overindulged. I should be ashamed of myself, really, for the amount of junk food that I've eaten over these past 2 weeks, knowing my ass 50 years old. But Lord willing, He'll give me some time to correct it, So I don't know. Maybe I've been going for 5 minutes. I'm gonna shut it down. Can you dig it?